They were each other's only family. Until the day everything changed. A rich family came. They chose Jungkook. "I don't want to go," Jungkook cried, holding Taehyung tightly. Taehyung clung to him. "Don't leave." Jungkook's small hands trembled. He didn't want to leave, but he looked around. At the broken walls, the empty plates, the life Taehyung was trapped in. "I'll come back," Jungkook whispered, holding his face. "I'll come back for you," he promised, tears falling. "I'll become strong and take you with me." Taehyung nodded, trusting him completely, because Jungkook never lied. But that day, he left, and Taehyung was alone. But he never came back. 10 years later, Jungkook came back. Stronger, richer, ready. But Taehyung was gone. Lost in a world that didn't care. No records, no trace, just emptiness. Jungkook searched everywhere, desperately. Years passed, and then the diagnosis came. Terminal. No cure. Time was running out, and still, he couldn't find Taehyung. And when Jungkook finally found him, it was too late. Taehyung had become something else. Cold, broken, an assassin. Jungkook's voice trembled for the first time. "I didn't want to leave you." Tears slipped silently down his face. "I thought if I stayed there, I couldn't give you anything." His voice cracked. "I was going to come back for you." Taehyung stood frozen. Every memory, every emotion crashing into him all at once. "But when I did," Jungkook whispered, "you were gone." Silence. Heavy. Devastating. And then I got sick. A shaky breath. I didn't have time anymore. At first I was scared. But then I realized, a weak smile, I don't want to die alone. I wanted to see you again, even if it was like this. His voice broke. I regretted everything. Leaving you, thinking I could give you a better life later. His fingers tightened slightly around the blanket. So I made a selfish choice. His voice broke. I thought, if I could bring you here, maybe I could give you something before I go. Give me what? Taehyung whispered, shattered. Jungkook smiled faintly. A way out. Silence. Painful. Heavy. I don't care if you kill me, Jungkook continued softly. But I wanted you to remember who you were. Taehyung stepped back, shaking. Everything he believed, everything he was, everything he did, collapsed. The room went completely still. Taehyung whispered, "You used me." Jungkook shook his head weakly. "No." A small, broken smile. "I loved you." Silence. Heavy. Endless. Taehyung's voice cracked. "You don't get to do this." Jungkook closed his eyes, tired, fragile. "I know." Then softly, "But I'm running out of time." Taehyung refused to accept it. "No, there has to be something. There has to be." Before he could complete, Jungkook collapsed. The hospital doors slammed open. Taehyung didn't wait, didn't think. "Help him!" His voice cracked, carrying something raw, something terrified. Jungkook's body hung weakly in his arms, barely conscious. Doctors rushed forward. Everything blurred. Time stopped. Hours later, Taehyung stood beside the bed, eyes hollow. "You're not dying," he whispered, more to himself than to Jungkook. "I won't let you." Hospitals, specialists, private doctors, underground contacts. He searched everywhere, spent money he didn't care about, broke rules he once lived by. But every answer was the same. Too late, too advanced, too little time. Taehyung clenched his fists. He had taken so many lives without hesitation, but now he couldn't save the only one that mattered. Jungkook grew weaker, day by day, step by step. The boy who once smiled under the rain now struggled to stand under the same sky. Taehyung noticed everything. The way Jungkook paused to catch his breath, the way his hands trembled when holding a cup, the way his smiles lasted shorter, but meant more. "Don't look at me like that," Jungkook murmured one evening. Taehyung frowned. "Like what?" "Like I'm already gone." Taehyung's voice cracked. "You're not." "I found someone," he said quickly. "Experimental treatment. We can try." "No." Taehyung stopped. Jungkook looked at him, eyes soft but firm. "No more running," he whispered. "No more fighting something we can't win." Taehyung's voice rose. "I'm not giving up." "I'm not asking you to." A pause, then, "I'm asking you to stay." Silence filled the space between them, and for the first time, Taehyung understood. This wasn't about saving Jungkook. This was about being with him, until the end. "Okay," Taehyung said finally, voice breaking. "I'll stay." They tried to live, like normal people, like time wasn't slipping through their fingers. They took small trips, late-night drives with no destination, Jungkook leaning against the window, smiling at passing lights. They cooked together, even when Jungkook's hands trembled, even when Taehyung had to hold the knife for him. They laughed, real laughter, soft, fragile, temporary. And in those moments, Taehyung forgot. Forgot death, forgot pain, forgot everything, except Jungkook. Moments. Small, fragile, precious. The kind Taehyung never had before. The kind he didn't know how to let go of. But reality never stopped. Jungkook's condition worsened. Faster now. His strength fading like a candle burning its last light. Some nights, he couldn't even get out of bed. Taehyung stayed beside him, holding his hand, as if letting go would take him away. "Tell me something," Jungkook whispered one night. "What? Are you happy?" Taehyung's eyes filled with tears. "I am now." Jungkook smiled. "That's enough." Rain fell quietly, like the night they first met. Jungkook lay in Taehyung's arms, breathing uneven. Weak, fragile, breaking. "Taehyung," he whispered. "I'm here." "I'm tired." Taehyung's grip tightened. "Then rest." Jungkook smiled softly. "Stay." "I'm not going anywhere." A pause, then, "Thank you for staying till last with me." Taehyung's vision blurred. "I'm sorry I couldn't save you." Jungkook shook his head weakly. "You did." The room was silent. Too silent. Taehyung felt it before he understood it. Jungkook's breathing slowed, faded, stopped. "Jungkook?" No response. His hands trembled. "Hey." Nothing. "Jungkook, wake up." Silence. And then, everything shattered. Taehyung broke, completely, holding him tighter, shaking, begging, crying like he never had before. "Don't go!" Taehyung didn't scream, didn't move, didn't cry. Not at first. He just sat there, holding Jungkook's lifeless body, as if time had frozen, as if letting go would make it real. But reality doesn't wait. It breaks you. Quietly. Completely. Taehyung disappeared. Not as an assassin, but as someone reborn and destroyed at the same time. He left everything behind. The organization, the past, the blood on his hands.
He built a new life, a quiet one, but he never moved on, because some loves don't end even after death. Years passed, but for Taehyung, time stopped. Rain poured outside, soft, endless. Taehyung sat by the window, 2 cups of tea on the table. "You're late today." Silence. He smiled faintly, like he was listening to a reply. "I went to that place you liked." A pause. The lake. His fingers tightened slightly around the cup. "It's still the same?" "I tried cooking again today," he continued softly. "Still terrible." A quiet chuckle, as if someone had responded, as if someone was still there. Silence filled the room. But to him, it wasn't empty, because Jungkook was still there. In every memory, every corner, every breath. Taehyung leaned back, eyes distant, soft, broken.